Hello, it is Friday, October 9th, 2020, 6:51 in the morning. And, firstly, this is the haircut. It's quite a bit off, I guess, and I have it tucked in underneath so this is sort of what it looks like when it's not, actually, just cut bed, so it's not styled or anything like that, but yeah, so this is the haircut. It's actually lighter and it's nicer just in terms of feel, because as much as having long hair and all of that kind of stuff, and I have nice hair, and I have been grateful for my nice hair all my life, but especially with everything that's going on right now, the one big thing is that it's actually been difficult to shower. Like, I've been sponge bathing because of all these like tubes and things like that are sort of like coming out of my body and things. So getting those things wet is a no-no. So I've been sponge bathing, and it's just, you have no idea what it's like to have to wash my hair in a sink at that length. It was exhausting. So just for the fact of just being able to go, okay, like, this is going to be a lot easier to have to manage that way, is going to be awesome. And when I start treatment soon, and when there is some hair loss, it's also not going to be these like big long strands of chunks, or whatever it might be that I'm gonna be losing. And it's interesting, the hairstylist who was cutting my hair yesterday was saying, it's like, even if you lose hair, like, you have so much that it's probably not even going to be that noticeable. So I'm appreciative of that. In case anyone in Toronto is interested, it was at the salon called N15 at, they have a number of locations, but the one that I went to was at Bayan College. The one at Bayan College. I think they have 3 locations, and the original one is from Bayan College. That's the one I went to. I went to a stylist named Kazuma, and he was fantastic. I showed him some pictures of some stuff, and he was kind of like, that's not going to actually work for your hair, just, looking at it and feeling it and all that kind of stuff. So he gave me, it just didn't just say, like, this is just going to work for you. Like, what he did was make sure that he gave me a cut that worked best for my hair, my texture, and all that kind of stuff. Because one of the things that he was saying is for you to go any shorter than this isn't going to really make any sense, because the back, you have some coarse hairs that are not as straight, and as a result of that, if you cut it shorter, it's just, your back is just going to be all over, it's going to be messy. So you might as well just keep it at a length where it's just going to be nice and uniform, and it's, there's not going to be any kind of disorganized mess in certain areas of your head. So I appreciated that. So, and it feels a lot better, so light. It'd be interesting to see how much weight actually came off, because it probably would show up on a scale how much hair came off. But anyway, that's one of the things that happened yesterday. But the other thing there's a number of things that happened yesterday. So I went to the nurse's clinic for the first time, which I was so happy to go, because I was concerned about the leakage that I saw through the dressing in the tube, around the tube of the biliary drain. And yesterday, and because it seemed like, I went to the hospital on Wednesday for my oncology appointment, showed the nurse, and she's like, oh, it looks like it's drying. And I'm like, I don't think so. Can you change it? And she's like, well, we don't know how it's been sutured, so we don't know. We don't want to risk that. So They wouldn't change it. But in some ways, I guess I'm glad because the nurse who helped me yesterday knew exactly what was going on, and he actually has been uh, I'm so like I don't want to like it was just so great. Like he did such a great job, and that I have been I got all these things done last Wednesday. So about the biliary drain tube put in last Wednesday. On Saturday, I went to the hospital because the drain didn't seem like it was working as well, and so it got changed. So the dressing got changed when I left the hospital on Thursday. So that's probably the last time that it got cleaned and changed. And then that's not true. So that's after the procedure on Wednesday. I got all the dressings and everything like that put in, and then Thursday they changed and cleaned it before I went home. There was supposed to be the home care people, all that set up by Friday. That didn't happen. And so by Saturday, when the things weren't draining properly or as well as it had been, went to the hospital, and when interventional radiology, the nurse looked at it and said, "Oh, the tube had kinked." She redressed it for me. Excuse me. And then, so that was then. And then from Saturday until yesterday, which would have been Thursday, the dressing hadn't been cleaned. Like no one looked at it, and I had noticed the leakage that was happening a couple days ago, as I'm sure I've mentioned, and then yesterday, by the time I was dressing to go to the nurse's clinic appointment, I noticed that it was beginning to smell, and that was really worrisome for me. And in the area that it was leaking, it didn't look dry at all. It looked like it was getting more leakage. And so I was just so glad to have the appointment. And the nurse looked at it, knew what was going on, or at least had an understanding, it seemed, of what was going on. He cleaned it for me, and I told him the different things that was making it uncomfortable for me. Like I was saying how I haven't been able to yawn properly or sneeze completely or breathe deeply, comfortably since this whole thing started, which is like last Wednesday. And he said that one of the reasons why it could be is because of the suture. It's sutured in such a way that it's just pulling on the skin like every time I would move. And so he adjusted the suture, which has made like a tremendous difference. I sneezed and yawned for the first time in a week yesterday. And I can breathe relatively easily without feeling pain. So I'm very, very thankful for that. But I'm looking at the dressing today, and it looked like there is some leakage there. So I'm glad that I am going into have the interventional radiology folks look at it and see what the leakage is about. It's not, the draining is fine, so it's still draining. It's just that it's also there's some kind of a leak that's also going on at the same time. So hopefully they'll be able to figure that out. But I'm also hesitant because I'm afraid that they'll dress me back, like put the dressing and stuff like that back up, so that I'm going to be experiencing these like discomforts again over the weekend. So I'm hoping that that they can clean me up and figure out what it is and dress me up without the pain or the discomfort coming back as it had, because it's this past day has been great, just being able to walk around relatively discomfort free, and just being able to breathe and things like that without having to think about it. So I'm hoping that's something that they will be able to manage today. I'll mention it to them, and hopefully they'll know what I'm talking about. But that's at 3 o'clock today, which means that Joe's going to go and pick up our new car from Scarborough on his own without me. We don't get to pick up the car with him. But what we had to do is run around yesterday and get all the stuff done in preparation for that, because we had to go to Service Ontario. Well, first, we had to get a certificate of insurance, which he purchased and all that the day before, and they had sent him a PDF or a digital version of it that he had printed out. And then when we were both looking at it, turns out that under policy number, there's like a word instead of a number, and we were wondering what that was about. So got a bit of a runaround on the phone from the insurance company about what that is supposed to be. And originally so Joe was going to drop me off at the nurse's clinic and then go and register and get plates for the new old car. And that didn't happen because we weren't sure about the insurance papers. So Joe, just was on the phone with him, waiting around with him, got a bunch of a runaround. It turns out that they don't issue. So this particular insurance company doesn't. This is my understanding of it. I don't know how it works. That they don't issue policy numbers until they actually provide the certificate of insurance, the actual hard copy of the certificate of the insurance. I guess that they mail you or something. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But anyway, we took the certificate of insurance that we were given. Joe was given digitally. Went to Service Ontario, but we went to one in Etobicoke, not downtown, because downtown could be, it's a big center and there could be a lot of people and stuff like that. So we drove out. Once I was done everything with my haircut and everything like that, I said, okay, well, let's go to Etobicoke. Apparently their lineups aren't as long, and so we did that, and we weren't sure based on the information that we had that we'd be able to get the plates, but success, we were able to. And it turns out Joe hasn't owned a vehicle like literally in like 20 years, and he had a parking ticket that was still connected to his old car from like 20 years ago that he had to pay before he was able to get the new plates and be able to register to this new car. So that was interesting, but all done, all got taken care of. So today Joe's gonna go and pick up the car while I get this tubing leakage situation hopefully sorted out. And that's it, I guess, for today. Yesterday though, after we did the stuff with, got the plates and everything like that, Joe graciously drove me out to J-Town in Markham, which is like a really long way out, but I just felt like seeing like whether or not there was some like Japanese food, like prepared Japanese food that I can get. So I got some omurice and some onigiri, or omusubi as my family likes to call it. And just so that I have some kind of comfort eating. That's my comfort eating, is Japanese food. So that was yesterday, and it was good because, like I mentioned, it's been a long time since I've had a day where I didn't feel just this discomfort with movement. So I was very appreciative of that, but I was very, very tired by the end of the day. Not doing a lot, like going to a nurse's clinic and getting a haircut. I was kind of half falling asleep during the haircut, to be honest. And then like driving around, it was exhausting. And watched again a bunch of the baseball games. The Astros have advanced. I'm not going to say anything about that. Except make a face. And I don't know what happened with the Rays and Yankees game. I'll have to check that out afterwards. And I'm sorry just to keep giving you like these outdated baseball information with these video updates, but that's where I'm at. So today, yeah, I mean, a couple big things. Like I mentioned, I have to go to the hospital for that interventional radiology appointment, hoping that when they redress me again, that they A, fix the leakage, and B, I won't feel the discomfort that that I've been feeling, because it would be nice just to get through the weekend. It's here in Canada, it's Thanksgiving weekend. Just so it'll be Joe and I, and figuring out where maybe we can get ourselves a nice turkey dinner or something like that, just to go. That would be great, I think. Um, but it would also be nice not to have to experience discomfort while that's this weekend. So hopefully that'll happen. Otherwise, I have another nurse's clinic appointment on Monday, even though it's not with the same person who was there yesterday. He has a I'm can't even imagine, like, a well-deserved week off next week. So I'll be meeting the other person who runs the clinic with him, and hopefully she will be just as great. And if it is that I am in a situation where I am as uncomfortable as I have been in the last week, fingers crossed that I won't be, that she would be able to figure out, to work with me to sort that out with me. So that's it for the morning of Friday, October 9th, 2020. I hope you're having a good one. And again, as always, love and care out to you. And if you're so inclined, love and care back to me. But, but again, the most important thing, in my belief, is that you give as much true and real love and care to the folks in your life that you love and care about. And it'll make a difference. I promise. I really truly do. All right, and I'll talk to you real soon.